Economists have cast doubt over the cost of the coalition plan to allow first home buyers who purchase new properties to claim a tax deduction on mortgage interest payments for 5 years. Because it's a demand-driven scheme and could save the average family about $11,000 a year or $55,000 in total, the cost to the taxpayer could go much higher than the $1.25 billion that's already been forecast. Joining us live now is the Deputy Opposition Leader, Susan Lee. Susan, good to have you with us this morning. So if there is a surge of interest in your policy, like there was for your COVID-era home builder grant scheme, will that figure balloon?
It's a terrific policy, Pete. As you indicated, up to $55,000 savings, a real game changer for young families trying to get into the housing market. Now, unsurprisingly, like all our costings, this has been costed by the Parliamentary Budget Office, and we stand by their costings because they're independent and they're neutral.
But could it blow out if more and more people pick this up, which I suppose is Pete, what you want, because that would mean it's successful? The costing
is the costing, and it's been done independently, and of course we stand by it. But when I talk to young Australians, as I am here in Western Australia, they're pretty excited about this because they are locked out of home ownership. And when Peter Dutton stood up on Sunday and said, "I want to be the Prime Minister for home ownership," that really resonated with so many families, and not just the young ones, but the mums and dads and the grandparents as well, because it just isn't fair and it just isn't right that we've got an Albanese government that has promised so many times to deliver homes and hasn't managed to, from their Housing Affordability Future Fund, build one single home. So this disappointment is being reflected back at us, but it's changing to excitement, interest and real enthusiasm, because we care about young Australians getting into homes, and our policies are designed to do exactly that.
All right, but won't more of them get locked out in the long run, though? Because most economists have criticised yours and Labor's housing plans, to be fair, saying both will drive up costs because there just aren't enough homes. You point some figures there, but more need to be built because there just aren't enough workers to do so, though. So there are question marks over just how many can be built.
I think what people are missing here, Pete, is that our measures are supply-side measures as well. We've got a $5 billion fund that partners with local councils to actually congestion bust the roads, the sewage, the stormwater, the access, so we can get those new estates and new developments going. We announced that some time ago. Now, we've had builders, we've had the Housing Industry Association step up and say 30,000 more homes in terms of supply will result from our policy in deductions for your interest on your home loan. And that demonstrates that this is about supply. Of course we need supply. We need more homes. State governments have failed us, let's be honest. We're stepping right up here and we're saying we will provide the impetus to actually build these homes at local government level. And local governments around the country have got projects waiting to go. They talk to me about them all the time, because often it is those access roads, putting on new sewage and water connections that you need to get in place before you start the build. So there's a lot in our policy around supply. And I think some of our critics are missing that. But I know who's not missing it: the people, the young people who are desperate for a chance to step up onto the home ownership ladder. And I just can't express enough my disappointment in this government.
How many people?
Well, as many as can take advantage of it, Pete, because I want to see this.
But if there is a cost figure, there must be an estimate on how many people will pick it up.
Well, the costings are correct, and I think it's interesting that you're focusing on the costings, because young Australians are focusing on access to this, and no one is going to be prevented from using this policy to get themselves on that ladder of home ownership, and that's the strong message this morning. Okay. No one is going to be locked out of this policy, Pete.
How much room is there left for defence spending?
You can always trust the coalition on defence spending when you compare our record to Labor's. We will always spend more on defence. Just consider $80 billion of cuts, rephasing and reprioritisation by this Labor government. They're not serious about defence. We are. We delivered AUKUS. Our record stands for itself.
Okay, will you commit to more defence spending in this election campaign? Is there more to come?
Peter Dutton announced that our defence policy is coming, and it will be revealed in the next 18 days. I'm just
Okay,
mentally
so the cost
calculating
of
how many
these
days before
housing
the next
policies
election.
and tax cuts, is that not going to take anything away from defence? Are you still pressing ahead with some increase, others say 2.5% of GDP? Are you thinking along those lines still?
You'll see the defence policy when it's released, Pete, and all of our costings will be released, as all oppositions do in the lead up, in the days before the election itself. But Australians know they can trust us on defence. They know that they can trust the coalition when it comes to defence. And $80 billion of cuts, rephasing, reprioritisation, that's a pretty shocking record by this Albanese government.
Susan Lee, good to have you with us as always. We'll chat again soon.